What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first installment of BA Reviews. For some time now, I've wanted to start doing reviews of indie comics, films, TV shows, trailers, etc. And since the talk of Twitter recently in the indie space has been the Yaira live action trailer, figured we might as well start there, especially since all of my videos so far have been based around indie comics and indie novels. To start, don't take this too seriously. This is just for fun. It's no different if I were to critique a DC, Marvel, or Disney trailer or film, which we know a lot of people do. So just sit back, enjoy, and let me know what you think. All right, let's get this started. It's interesting. I know it's supposed to be two T's for Twisted Twins, but interesting that they had them resemble crosses.
This is gonna be tough.
It's a nice self-insert with
Train my
Eric's
body
voice.
to do things that people like me shouldn't be able to do. But unfortunately for me, flying ain't one of them.
Well, it's good to know for sure that Isom can't fly. But it's kind of interesting that there's just a random and very cheap Kia just sitting in front of a mega corporation. Um, that's just kind of funny. It might even be like a crosswalk.
Don't follow me!
Biologist and archaeologist who we feel is going to be an undeniable asset here at Projexus. Won't you please join me in welcoming her to our team? Dr. Sally Rodell.
Adapt or die.
So I'm gonna put on the closed captions because I don't know what accent that is. Let's go back a little.
Adapt or die.
Adopt or die. I don't know if that's supposed to instead be adapt. I don't know. Obviously you can't tell what she's referring to in regards to adapting or adopting. One little guess that I have is maybe she's going to be portraying, again, an archaeologist, biologist that is opposing climate change, maybe. If you don't adapt to what's being told about climate change, then you have to, adapt or die. Could be wrong. Maybe she's, kind of trying to infiltrate this Projexus.
Secure the area until Alpha can arrive.
So that's one of the Twisted Twins there. So that's a nice little self-insert. That is a very confusing spot there because the guy is running towards you away from a threat, apparently. But then a girl is running away from you in the opposite direction, also running away from a threat. And there's just no other people around. And so there's just one guy kind of doing crowd control for two people. So that's kind of funny.
It is the truest law of the earth. Very few things have the ability to survive the test of time.
So the voice is very interesting. Maybe they're going for something Slavic, but that is definitely not like a Russian or Ukrainian accent. That's for sure. It actually sounds like a Scottish man mixed with a Norwegian lesbian. It's really, really interesting. Not sure how you get to that accent. And from what I can tell, the actress is Canadian and it's not her natural accent. So it was definitely a forced accent. And I mean, it's not hard to find actresses out there, or even average, people of Slavic, descent that could do a proper accent. So, maybe it was a friend or something, but that accent's, really, really throwing me off.
Though we may not be around to see them to their
So Mr. H called this out, but that sign there, you know, it's supposed to say Projexis, but you can't really tell that's an X from far away. It's kind of a weird logo, but also, it does seem like that's potentially like kind of laminated cardboard or card stock, kind of like you do for art prints. But they could have easily done just like a soft touch lamination or a matte so it wouldn't look as cheap and glary, but that definitely is distracting there.
fullest fruition. That we struggle to create now will be the triumphant echoes from the past.
Alpha Corps will be here in 5 minutes! Hold the line!
5 minutes? Thanks for the heads up.
So everybody knows she's got powers, so I'm not sure why when she first enters the scene she literally goes under the tape instead of jumping over it, or based off of that bitch move there of just pushing a security guard out of the way for no reason. Why wouldn't you just break through the tape or use your ice power to just like, freeze it and bust it? But I mean that that was a total like boss girl move there. That was not a very feminine uh, move there at all. That's seems like she could be kind of an annoying character. It's like Captain Marvel 2.0.
I was here. I lived. I am still here. Among you.
I was here. I lived. I am still here. I was here. I lived. So obviously you have no idea what event they're referring to. There must have been some crazy, um, event that had occurred that she had survived through it. But I mean, it's a complete guess. Would be kind of interesting to get a little bit of a sense of what that event was. Because if you look at the city, it just looks completely unscathed and normal. So. Seen that in a lot of movies. Sorry. Um, that was funny. She looks like a penguin trying to jump, but with like the abilities of Iron Man. I don't know if this is supposed to mean flying, but to me it seems like she literally just jumped over maybe a couple feet just to land in front of that girl. Um, I mean, that was a very, very slow drop to like create that sound of the ground breaking.
Chilled.
Wait, what? B dreams chilled?
Sweet dreams chilled.
Okay, sweet dreams chilled. Okay. That's a weird angle there. Now I get it. It's a low budget, but it would have been more interesting to kind of, maybe see the opponent's head kind of like bounce off um the concrete or the brick ground there or something, but it's like she is being knocked sideways back to the ground. So a little bit strange.
It is that struggle that is the friction of creation.
The friction of creation. Man, I'm getting some Scottish vibes.
I would like to thank Mr. Eusebio for allowing
Mr. Savio? Mr. Stravio. I'll tell you, I've lived in Russia, and this is definitely not a Slavic accent at all. is definitely Yani is Nio. I mean, it's just not. It's not. Oof. And so this guy is actually an actor, like a known actor. He was in Man of Steel. He worked with Zod and was actually a good actor, but I'm not sure why they put that goofy like wig on him. Especially a blonde wig. I mean, he's clearly like in his 60s or something, and that looks like a really obvious wig. So that's, I mean, you have an actor that people can recognize, and you toss that goofy wig on him. And then I don't know if this is supposed to kind of be a stereotypical New Texas thing, but the t-shirt and cowboy hat is just kind of, I don't know, kind of cliche. I don't know. That's
I need the
strange.
opportunity to discover and create alongside my esteemed colleagues at Projexus. Thank you.
An archaeologist? It's a bit archaic, isn't it?
She's
An archaeologist, that's a bit archaic. Strange line.
Well studied, Jerry, but if you want to question her credentials, be my guest.
That's not what I was saying. It's just an unusual area of expertise to pair with biology.
Well, Dr. Rodell, from my understanding, is an unusual woman. Don't be threatened, Jerry.
Man, the guy even tucks in his t-shirt. Oof. And then this, this is an interesting little segment here with the woman talking down to the man. Not gonna lie, if you saw that in a MCU trailer or a DC trailer, people would definitely be calling that out. That poor man.
She's on our side. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Photo?
It's very, very thrilling. Slow speech and pitch it. Classic cowboy tip. I mean, you could have just showed her spitting out the blood, but okay. So this is interesting too. Like, why does I'm going to assume this is a villain. Now, who knows? Maybe Yaira's a villain or an anti-villain. I guess nobody really knows, right? But if this is the villain, it's quite strange to have her wearing a crucifix.
You took that like a chomp.
Were you trying to not?
Took that like a chomp. Now I'm just picturing like a Mario Brothers. Good chomp. Okay.
Knock me out?
No, it was meant to be a death blow.
A death blow. That's definitely Scottish. I do not think she practiced her accents. Oof. Maybe she's from Scotway, you have New Texas that split off from the United States, right? Maybe this is the opposite where like Scotland and Norway just combined. It's like this mysterious land of giant women with crazy accents. Yeah, I'm not sure why she's so afraid if she just gave her the most powerful punch she could muster and all she got was a mouthful of blood. But you also can't tell, does this potentially villain or opponent, does she even have any abilities? Right? All you heard was just those two people screaming, but you had no idea, what is this person doing? How are they even wreaking havoc? It seems like nothing has happened and that she's just come in and just punched this girl. Jumped in like a penguin and then punched her. Okay. Not sure what to gather from that. Potentially, again, she's working with this company for whatever reason, but it's hard to tell. Is she a hero, a villain, an anti-hero? And I guess she can kind of fly or she can jump really high. I mean, obviously from all the artwork from the comics so far, she can fly, but um, yeah, I mean, you can't really tell what the story is about. Again, maybe she's going along with some sort of narrative about climate change to try to infiltrate the company, but you can't really tell. She has some sort of abilities. Um, she doesn't like men, specifically that security guard, and she's extremely cocky and, I mean, not really that feminine, especially the voice. And you can't tell what her ethnicity is um, at all. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. This is actually the nicest part of the entire trailer here is the logo. I will give it that for sure. So that's the actress Morgan Boot. Definitely doesn't sound Slavic or anything like that. Quite credit scene. Now, I have to assume this was probably shot in a day. And I'm sure people will ask, well, how do you know that? Well, I've actually been in a TV show before as an extra, shooting an entire episode, and it took, a day for a 30-minute episode, and they had to do ad-lib because it was a comedy show. So I would assume this did not take a lot of filming. Well, shout out to Subway. Interesting.
Winter is here.
Venter. It almost sounds like ventilate. I, I guess she's kind of supposed to be like a Wonder Woman, but I mean that just does not it conflicts with some of the early art. But like you thought she'd kind of be like quite feminine, but having her bust out her biceps like that it's interesting. That's for sure. I wonder if there's going to be any extra scenes beyond just a flex.
Hey, fuck your mum on a regular basis. In the ass. No lube. Get up. Wipe my dick on the curtains. Get her to make me a sandwich and a cup of coffee. Don't say a word to her. And I just fucking leave. After throwing my plate in the sink and letting it smash. Okay!
Holy shit. I was not expecting that. Oh, dang. Man. Oof. The Yaira trailer. That was definitely interesting. I mean, I definitely agree that is kind of more or less CW. Well, it's not even up to CW kind of level quality. Let's be honest, you had Supernatural, you had Smallville, and even the first season of Arrow and Flash had some pretty kick-ass trailers in production quality. So that was, definitely low. And I understand why he would want to do that, right? It's kind of exciting, could maybe catch the eyes of some people in the TV business. But I mean, personally, I think he should have stuck with animation because that did look much better. I mean, the story or kind of what they were trying to get across in both of them is definitely lacking. It's quite confusing, especially for someone that may not have read these books so far. So they're definitely underwhelming. I mean, he did hire some actual actors, but I think in regards to wardrobe, wigs, and especially on the accent and the appearance of Yaira, in my opinion, that definitely kind of dropped the ball there. So, yeah, definitely an interesting trailer. You're getting, a lot of hype, obviously, from folks that are fans of that universe, and quite a bit of criticism, from folks that are not, and just random reviewers. Um, but I definitely can't help but get a good laugh out of that trailer. But hey, if backers enjoy it, I mean, more power to them. I mean, they are paying for it. Um, it's certainly going to be baked into the prices of all the merchandise that people are picking up right now, especially like $75 trading cards, things of that nature. And so if you guys want more of that, then I'm sure you'll get it if you pay enough for it. So, but to me, some of the more classic comic book trailers, like for Berserker, with Keanu Reeves, like that was more interesting, exciting. The music was much better, and that just had him narrating and a ton of comic pages and art to pique people's interest. So again, folks that know the Rippaverse, of course, this is going to excite them, right? But if you're trying to pick up new backers or new customers, they're going to be confused because they're not even going to understand that it's for a comic, really, unless they get to that very end where they see the comics. They're going to be really confused. They may actually think it's a low budget TV show or an indie film. So, kind of limiting your reach there, in my opinion. But yeah, that's the first review that I've done. Again, look forward to doing some reviews of indie comics, full films as well as new trailers. So going to try to do, a couple a month potentially. And of course, everybody, please go back Vigilantes Creed on Indiegogo.com. You have 2 novels and a mini comic about a gargoyle and a team of vigilantes fighting terror in Detroit. High octane, thrilling story filled with supernatural and biblical lore, and a lot of raw emotion as well. If you're a fan of Lovecraftian horror, anything that Alan Moore has done, this is definitely going to be your cup of tea. The link is going to be in the description. Again, thank you guys. God bless.